Hello Noir Vortex viewers, it's Noir Vortex here, and doing another one of vlogs, regular vlogs, and this time we're going to be talking about artists and the importance of having character as an artist, I suppose, or the, sort of how you conduct yourself in the world as a painter, an artist, a digital artist, any type of art really. Just what is the importance of how you conduct yourself in society in relation to being an artist, really, or art. So I've just been thinking about this. I just went out to get some art supplies. I'm sort of just getting back into painting, actually. So I've been doing digital art for the last, I've been doing digital art pretty consistently for the last 3 years, really, since I was like 20 something, 35 now. But I mean, doing it consistently, in terms of my practice for a few years, and I'm just getting back into painting again, which is my original sort of fine art that I got involved in. Though I've been drawing since I was a boy, really. First thing I was drawn to ever was trees. I was very drawn to trees as a subject. Interestingly enough, I don't paint them very much anymore. I'm just looking at some now. Nice. Yeah, I think as an artist you've got to be, I think obviously a very important character trait is open-mindedness. Of course, I mean that's sort of a given, really. I mean, you have to be open to new ideas. You have to be open to radically rethink everything that you think you already know, basically, which is sort of obvious. But one other thing I think is that I think as an artist, it's very important to be empathetic. Now, not everybody would agree with this. Now, obviously, there are examples of artists who were not very empathetic in a lot of respects, who were sort of cruel in some respects. So I'm not saying it's like a prerequisite to be a good artist. In whatever sense you want to put that, is to be, sort of good, kind and good-natured. Obviously, there's a pretty good litany of painters through history who are utter bastards in some respects. But I mean, I think in general, it's a good thing to be kind to others, really, as much as you can be. That doesn't mean weakness. That's a different thing. So often, I guess one quality, obviously, of in general as a person to have is to be strong. By strong, I mean, not to take any shit, really, basically. So you're not going to get taken. If you can sort of sense that someone's trying to take advantage of you, you can sort of push back against that. But that's a different thing to kindness, because I mean, you can be empathetic and kind without being weak. It's a real hard balance to find, but people do it. And I've done it myself, I think. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I'm a morally perfect human being, because I'm a human being. I've done bad things as well. I've never been a perfect human. In all manners. Like everything from attachment to love. I'm definitely not being perfect in that. I've not been that bad though. I don't think I'm what you'd call an asshole or whatever. I don't think I've never really. I don't want to go into this, but it's sort of interesting territory somewhat as well. I mean, love is a very interesting thing when it comes to the artists, because I think as an artist it's be interesting to talk about anyway. I think we're sort of drawn, of course, to other artists, but relationships with other artists can be very turbulent, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it can be turbulent because we're sort of very chaotic souls in a lot of ways. I've been involved with, I've had, sort of girlfriends in the past who were artistic in one way or another. It's sort of what I'm drawn to, really. It's what I'm naturally attracted to. But I guess the base, going back to the character, what's the sort of ideal character, or, conduct you want to pursue in those sort of matters of the heart, I guess. It's just be real, be very real and honest with the other person, and sort of see how it evolves organically, I guess. In terms of, so going on from that, because I mean that's pretty obvious in a lot of respects, but I think it's just a good one to go over. I think in terms of developing a sort of visual language, again it goes back to the open-mindedness. You just need to taken lots and lots of different cultures, lots of different art movements historically, art history. Theory is a very important thing to develop, so like art philosophy, and just sort of look at. I mean, a really important thing to do, I think, actually, is the experience of a culture. So for myself, I've been immersed in Russian culture for the last 2 years. I lived in Russia. I picked up a lot of, I picked up a bit of мой русский нехорошо, but это ладно, русский. You can pick, learning a language is a good thing, and a sort of embracing other cultures, to be honest. Learning about other cultures, experiencing other cultures. Because it's the only way you really learn that pretty much we're just all human beings, and we've all got the same sort of desires, wants and needs and neuroses and everything. And I think that's a very important life lesson as an artist, just to embrace and experience other cultures. I think culture itself is a cross-pollination of different ideas and art and culture across boundaries, really. Boundary crossing is art, I think. And new art emerges from boundaries being crossed. Sometimes art can be a vessel for politics or even expression of war. Obviously, you had a lot of that in the early 20th century, with the First World War and the Second World War, which, interestingly enough, art can sometimes sort of prefigure a sort of moment like that in world history. Like the Dadaists, for example, is a pretty obvious example of sort of reaction to the First World War and then nihilistic feeling that swept throughout Europe at that time. It's interesting in terms of like how art can become a sort of social movement. That happened in Russia. So in the early Soviet Union, there was a lot of art as social utility, sort of social utilitarianism, and sort of art as a social propaganda tool, but in an interesting way, actually. I think it's sort of, in a lot of ways, I sort of think there's a lot of untapped potential we can still be mining, which I'm sort of doing in my work at the minute, with constructivism and suprematism and all that sort of like visual style that emerged out of the Soviet culture in Russia. Sort of revolutionary art, but abstract and figurative at the same time. It's very, very interesting and dynamic and energetic work. So yeah, obviously, experience of the cultures, go abroad, live abroad, meet people. You might even, you never know, if you're a guy or a woman, you might meet someone you really fall in love with in another culture. That's a really useful, that's a really nice thing to do, really, in a lot of ways. It's just a very, you become a better person from doing that in a lot of ways. You just become more expansive as a human being. Your mind becomes expanded and other things. If you're a guy, anyway. That's a terrible joke. Sorry. Dick jokes. I don't know why dick jokes are a classic, really. Don't want to keep it too dry, eh? That's what she said. Oh, shut the fuck up, man. Anyway, I think I'll end it on that terrible note. Have a good day. I think I've covered some of what I think is important character, sort of important character traits for becoming an artist. Please like and subscribe. I've made several dick jokes. I think two dick jokes in this video. So if you subscribe or like the video, then it'll go further, because I'll probably get flagged by YouTube. I think I'm already shadow banned a bit. So, alright, in a bit.